CGTN Radio. Here is the press.
Now the news. I'm Ken Yu. UN Chief Antonio Guterres has expressed deep concern after reports of a tsunami and ash affecting Tonga following the eruption of an undersea volcano near the Pacific nation. Tsunami warnings have been issued in countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and the United States. In Poland, reports from Auckland.
See behind me, it looks very calm right now, but the eruption was so violent that explosions were heard more than 2,000 kilometres away here in New Zealand. And authorities immediately issued a tsunami alert for the east coast of the North Island, which warned of potential sea surges and coastal flooding. And because it's been almost impossible to get an accurate assessment of any casualties or damage, because power and communications to the islands were knocked out after last night's eruption, and experts are now urgently trying to get Tonga's submarine communications cable up and running. New Zealand's Prime Minister says the eruption is deeply concerning, and the most significant impact appears to be on the northern side of Tonga's capital of Nuku'alofa, where large boulders and boats have been washed ashore. The capital is also covered in a thick film of volcanic dust, which has contaminated water supplies, so there's now an urgent need for drinking water. Jacinda Ardern says there's no official reports of any injuries or deaths, but it's impossible to know what the situation is in outlying islands, especially without any communications.
China Development Bank, one of the country's major policy banks, granted 70 billion yuan of special loans last year to facilitate scientific innovation and basic research. The loans were offered to support major national scientific innovation projects, pursuits of breakthroughs in core technologies, cutting-edge basic research, applied research, and the application of scientific and technological achievements. The bank said it will improve financial services for eligible tech firms and provide them with long-term funding. The city of Tianjin is fighting an Omicron outbreak. Authorities have carried out citywide nucleic acid testing to identify the cases and cut the transmission link. Local community workers are playing a role in helping senior citizens who find it difficult to visit the testing sites in cold weather. Wu Bing brings more details.
Quite a touching scene here as Tianjin conducts a third round of mass testing. An old man in his 90s staggered to the testing site with somebody else's help. He was registered to be tested at home, but he still chose to come to the testing site.
The outbreak this time is still serious. The community workers and medics are working very hard. I don't want to cause them any inconvenience, so I go to testing sites if I can.
The number of senior residents in this community is rather high. Many of them come to the testing sites even if they can be tested at home, but there are those who can't.
Our community has 1,289 permanent senior residents, and over 200 households have registered to have their samples taken at home. But many of them still come to the site simply because they want to ease our burden. There are now about 50 households who can't do it.
And to help those in need, medics and community workers go to their homes to collect their samples. Local officials say the goal is to reach zero case in community level as early as possible, so the residents could spend a safe spring festival that is coming in just weeks.
Australia has decided to cancel Novak Djokovic's visa following legal battle over the tennis superstar's arrival in the country without a COVID-19 vaccine. The federal court made the announcement on Sunday. The largest natural ice rink in Beijing has reopened as the city is getting ready for the Winter Olympic Games. The Kunming Lake Ice Rink in the Summer Palace was built in 2016. Lu Sirui reports.
Summer Palace Kunming Lake Ice Rink, the biggest natural ice rink in Beijing, has reopened. Thousands gather here to enjoy the winter vibes every day and embrace the Olympic season.
We're so happy we have been doing this for 3 hours today. This reminds us of our childhood. In my county, we used to do this in the river in front of our house or just in the streets.
I'm from Shanghai. I heard about this rink a long time ago and I always wanted to come. It's fun to play here. In fact, a few days ago, I heard the temperature in Beijing was rising, so I was worried the rink would not be open when I get here. I told my friend, if it's not open, I would spend the whole day crying at the gate.
Summer Palace was a summer resort for the emperors in Qing Dynasty. It's still the most famous imperial garden in China.
And that's the news. I'm Tian Yu.